Hello, my name is Bryce Johnson and this is my audience. I have Ted as a cameraman, Fern, Beth, Allie, and Caleb. Today I'm going to be talking about Australia. Australia is a lot of interest to me and always a place I've wanted to visit. Australia is south of Asia in the Pacific Ocean, and it was originally named New South Wales. Nowadays it's split up into 6 territories: Western Australia, Southern Australia, Northern Australia, Queensland, Victoria, and New South Wales, which holds the capital, Canberra. The island is very diverse. You can go from deserts in the upper region to rainforest in the lower region to grasslands almost everywhere. Australia is not only an island, but it is its own continent and its own country, which is the only place in the world to be a continent, a country, and an island. It's a little bit smaller than the 48 contiguous states, and the first explorer to visit there was Captain James Cook. He was there from 1768 to 1779, mapping and exploring the landscape, the animals, everything. But he made 3 major maps each time he went, and that's what helped explorers in the future. Arthur Phillips came in 1788, and as he was looking at the island, he realized it could be a good prison. There's nobody living there except the natives, and so he brought up over a bunch of prisoners and basically made that their prison, just put them to work. But because of that, gold was discovered, and all through the 1800s there was a huge gold rush in Australia. And that is what caused cities to pop up along the coast. 9 of the biggest cities popped up along the coast. The original people, the native people, are called the Aborigines, and in their language, one of the biggest landmarks is Uluru, which in English we know as Ayers Rock, which can be seen from space with the naked eye. It's basically just a huge rock, and it's a big tourist spot. I feel like I have to redo this whole. Besides that, another interesting tourist spot is called 12 Apostles, which is basically just 12 outcroppings of rock that are very beautiful as you're driving along the Great Ocean Road, which is southwest Australia, just above Tasmania, and they're in the Campbell National Park. The northern territory of Australia is like the desert part, and it's called the Outback. It's very hot. You just want to visit unless it's summer or spring. But on the opposite side of that, because the weather and territory is so diverse, it's its whole own continent, Australia gets more snowfall than Switzerland in a year. Another huge attraction to the island is the Great Barrier Reef. This is the biggest barrier reef in the world. It's 135,000 square meters, and it too can be seen from space with the naked eye. Obviously the reef is made up of dead coral. It's along the northeast side of the island, and the Great Barrier Reef is made up of barrier reefs, which is when coral dies and builds up in basically a pile. Fringing reefs, which is platforms. It grows out in platforms, and that's usually close to the shore. And then the atolls are reefs that grow around lagoons, basically, and they're further out into the ocean. But the Great Barrier Reef is made up of all 3 of these. Even though the reef itself is dead coral, there are over 400 species of live coral on the reef. And one of the biggest natives to the reef is the green turtle. And when it is full age, it can be 400 pounds. Another native animal to the island is the kangaroo. The gray kangaroo is the biggest one to the island, and they have no predators except for humans, except the dingo. The dingoes love to hunt kangaroos. But off of the island, there is Kangaroo Island, and there are no dingoes on this island at all, so all the kangaroos there are fat and slow. But usually a kangaroo can jump up to 6 feet high, which is almost as, well, a little shorter than me. Another native animal is the Corroboree frog. There's a northern and southern Corroboree frog. And this is a poison dart frog, black and yellow in color. It's very vivid and pretty. But this is Australia's most endangered animal. In June of 2004, there is said to be only 64 adult frogs left. And they can only be found in like a 15-kilometer radius. So they're very, very rare. The salties are the crocodiles that live in Australia. And they can not only run up to 14 miles per hour, but paleobiologist Gregory Erickson did a study on all 23 species of crocodiles in the world. And out of all those, the salty, the crocodile from Australia, had the strongest bite of everyone, weighing in at 300 psi, pounds per square inch. But the dingoes are the biggest population of animals on the island, and because of this they love to hunt the sheep, which there are also a ton of sheep there because New Zealand and Australia produce 50% of the world's wool. So the dingoes love to go after these sheep, and for this reason the farmers built 3,400 miles of fence just to keep these dingoes out. For all these reasons and so much more, I believe Australia is the greatest place in the world. I hope through my speech you think so too and would be encouraged to visit there one day like I am. Thank you.